We're looking at a 600 square foot addition here. Well, it started off last winter that the bedroom was cold and she couldn't understand it. The contractor supposedly did not insulate in between the existing ceiling and the new floor height of the addition.
It's leaking, the water's coming down.
Oh, I can see the water in the brick. We have to pull this whole ceiling down. This is a vent pipe that comes from downstairs to a bathroom if they have, it's illegal. It'll take methane gas up into the attic. And if enough gets in the attic and there's a spark, boom. There's kids in this house. You know, he doesn't care. Mike Holmes, did they actually do this right? No, they didn't. Not buggers. You want a good job to keep me in shape? I'll be a contractor. Unacceptable.
Thank you, Mike.
God, I love my job.
I've always loved backsplits, and we found a backsplit, but this house needed a lot of work. Got this whole house up, from the floors to the windows, the doors, lighting, everything. I knew about this contractor. He was recommended, and I loved what I saw. Told him what my plans were about this house. That was the reason why I wanted to buy this house. If I didn't have a contractor that I can trust and put my faith in, I would not buy this house and do all this stuff to it, because again, you hear the horror stories of renovators.
We're looking at a 600 square foot addition here. Rather nice addition, very professionally finished, with a lot of hidden imperfections. Here's a great example of seeing something that is beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, there's all kinds of problems. Angela.
Morning, Mike.
Well, it started off last winter that Angela was cold. The bedroom was cold, and she couldn't understand it.
You can literally feel it when you're standing here in this room, the air passing and rising up. And because it's really cold, it even goes down to the main floor as well. So the whole front part of the house is extremely cold.
The contractor supposedly did not insulate in between the existing ceiling and the new floor height of the addition, which is about a 24-inch span.
So right here, you can't see anything other than the slight mark of the stucco.
And this is nice, too. This addition started at $36,000 and climbed all the way to $57,000 due to the contractor, not the client. The client didn't ask for anything extra, the contractor did. So he has no insulation, no vapor barrier from the existing ceiling up to the new addition.
Last year, when it was a fairly mild winter, it was still very cold where you can actually see the vapor from your breath. It was that cold in this room, and you couldn't stay up here.
After heavy rain, there was leaks galore on the east side of the house and the west side of the house.
It's leaking, the water's coming down.
Oh, I can see the water in the brick.
The water also leaked straight down from both sides, that side and that bathroom straight down.
Unbelievable.
So this is the leak from the bathroom, the three-piece.
Okay, so we'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah. And the stain's getting darker and darker, so I don't know if that has...
We have got damage everywhere.
So everywhere you look, it's started cracking. And a lot of water was coming in here, it was pooling. It was pooling with water.
Well, as long as it's not soft, and right now I don't see it being soft, but if it still has moisture in the wall, we're gonna have to take a look at that. The owner, she had talked to the inspector on this one and said that they did not insulate this properly. I did not see any vapor barrier go up in this cavity, and right away the inspector threw a red flag up saying this is just not going to work. This has to be redone. The contractor supposedly just said, I'm leaving, and he walked. Okay, so this is where the new stairs go up to, obviously, the new addition.
Yes.
God, this is beautiful.
The heat's actually quite high right now, and it's still fairly cool. And if you're on with bare socks, you can actually feel it. It radiates up.
I can feel it.
They wanted to patch everything up, make it look good as much as possible, and leave without asking any questions. It took a lot out of me, out of our families. I didn't see my children for 3-4 months, literally, just being here every day, trying to make sure that he was doing his job because I just didn't trust him anymore.
This repair, based on everything that I've heard, and she's also received 2 quotes, is $25,000 to $27,000 for just about $100 worth of material that should have been done in the first place. Because this contractor did not insulate this properly, we have to pull this whole ceiling down. Mm-hmm. We will have to pull down parts of the ceiling in the kitchen, the whole ceiling in the dining room, because one thing about stuccoed ceiling, you can't repair it. To me, there's no excuse for this. If you don't do your job right, you shouldn't be in this business. We will do an inspection on the insulation to make sure he's got vapor barrier up there. If he does not, obviously we're going to have to redo this. We're going to make a mess of your house. We're going to have to move your furniture out of the way.
Okay.
Once we open this up, I want to bring you back and show you what I see. And then we'll close it all back up again.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let's make some mess. We're looking at a 600 square foot addition here. The contractor did not insulate in between the existing ceiling and the new floor height of the addition.
You can actually see the vapor from your breath. It was that cold in this room, and you couldn't stay up here.
We're going to open it up, take a really good look at it. We're going to go right through this attic. We're going to do a complete inspection on the outside. There's definite water problems of it leaking from the outside into the house. There's an issue in the bathroom where it's leaking into the first floor. We're going to find a lot of problems here. Many times that I've taken down ceilings like this, in between an addition, I will find all kinds of debris. 2x4s, tools, all kinds of things. We have to be very careful taking this down because we don't know what's up on top of it, and we don't want it falling and damaging the floor.
I vacuumed it. I insisted. They call me crazy, but I insisted in digging because I didn't want to live with that stuff in the middle of my room.
When we're cutting the corners, we also have to be very careful because what I'm hoping is that the existing contractor had vapor barriered up and tied it back in. And I don't want to cut that plastic because I want to tie into that plastic. So we definitely got about 24 inches.
That's a lot of dead space.
Okay, I'm finding nails and everything, guys, so let's make sure no nails stay on the floor because we'll step on them and damage the oak. You see that it's insulated here. That's a good sign. However, there is no vapor barrier. What you want to see is not only insulation here like he's got, insulation up and behind, but also insulation over and vapor barrier from this point directly up to the subfloor to stop airflow.
And that's where you feel it the most on the sides of the house, on the addition.
We have such a large cavity here, and if it's a cold zone in here, it just makes it cold upstairs because it'll go right through the floor. It's very nice to have a hands-on homeowner. She's very interested. You know, follow me around like a shadow. I like that. At little things. The ductwork, which we're gonna see, is not connected at this side. It's broke at this side. No vapor barrier. Look at the damage we gotta do to fix this. Screws and an awful lot of elbows. For every elbow you add on a duct line, what you're gonna get is less airflow. For every corner it hits, it creates air restriction. Look what we're finding. You know, everything's dropping in on. We got nails, screws, mortar. It's sloppy. See that piece of wood? Yeah. Can we grab it, please? Spare lumber, guys.
Extra.
Yeah. This whole ceiling has to come down. You cannot repair stucco ceiling. I'm good at it, and I'm not good enough. This is the warm side, that's the cold side. Bring that vapor barrier up and around to the beam, right to the floor there. That's where we want to tape it to. Make that airtight at that point. Keep the cold in the cold, keep the warm in the warm. Okay, one room down. Let's go take a look at the dining room and we'll see what we're finding here. Again, because we have to get to the steel beam to insulate the steel beam, we want to see the outside structure, which unfortunately is just right here. And we've had to take down this whole ceiling for a 2-foot section. Look at that.
Why do you do that?
There's the steel beam. Look at it. Looks like the living room. We also have mortar on top of here. You can see the weight load on top of this plastic. This is not 6 mil plastic. This is minimum coating. That is just 4 mil. I don't like it. Use 6. This is the original blown-in insulation. At one time, there was an attic above here. There was no second floor. We're gonna take it down. We want to see what's up there.
Landfill.
We'll take the blown out and we'll bag it and we'll put it more into the attic, just so we don't waste it. Why take it to the landfill if we don't have to? There is no caulking. There is no tuck tape from the top plate plastic to the minimum plastic that they've used here. Nothing there. So I can tell right here we got some heavy mortar here. But we got to be careful when we open that up. sloppy.
There's no vapor barrier, it's just poorly insulated, and there's nothing up between the TJI and the outside exterior sheathing.
There's no insulation period? Oh, that's probably the major source of the cold. I love my job, I love my job. Just keep saying that, Mike. Just keep saying that. We need more bags.
We need garbage bags. Itchy?
Thank you, sir.
I can put that down.
It is in this beautiful kitchen. I gotta pull this crap down. It's sad. Well, we've taken down all the drywall in the living room, the dining room. In the kitchen, we did open it up approximately, this is 18 inches away, which gives us enough room to do the same thing in here. Then we're gonna have to close this off, vapor barrier, close it off, plaster it up, fix that. The dining room, we had to pull down all the loose blown in insulation from the existing structure before, and we're gonna have to replace all this and then retie it off the same way we gotta do on the other side. Tomorrow, we're gonna pull the rest of this down. We have inspected it. We know that there's a little bit of insulation. We are going to insulate in between each and every existing joist, and then we're going right up to the new floor with vapor barrier as well as the insulation. We're gonna seal it tight all the way around. Then we're gonna re-drywall. Here we go. If the seal is broke, we're gonna get all kinds of water coming in here. It's a rainy day. The contractor did not insulate. No vapor barrier. Look at the damage we got to do to fix this. And if it's a cold zone in here, it just makes it cold upstairs because it'll go right through the floor. What we want to do is make sure we're level. See how they got it bunched up here? Let's not do that. Let's pull this all down, reuse what we got, but get it nice and flush with the walls so we can continue vapor barrier up. But let's close that whole zone off with as much insulation as possible.
Come on, you go. You can see tuck taping up here. And up here I haven't yet. What tuck tape does is give you a nice tight seal between dissimilar materials. And that's what we need here. What we want to do is block the air from coming inside.
You see that? Connection has broke. Oh, it's not even attached over there. These are all interlocked on the sleeve. So one slight movement knocked the boot out. So we'll put it back together, and to hold it properly, we'll have a piece of tape there. This is metal duct tape, and that's what we want to use. Okay, now that we've got it fully insulated, we're going to apply the 6 mil vapor barrier, a very important step, keeping the cool in the attic and the heat inside. This is a vent pipe that comes from downstairs to a bathroom that they have downstairs. And look where it stops. It does not continue outside. It's only grabbing air from the attic. It's illegal. That has to be outside. Because it's not outside, it'll take methane gas from the sewer lines and put methane gas up into the attic. And if enough gets in the attic, and there's a spark, boom. There's kids in this house. You know, he doesn't care. We're gonna be going directly through this, approximately right here, straight up, but obviously not out here from the inside. But I just want to drill it from the roof first.
Here?
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Just like it was supposed to fit. And we're running just to get another bag of insulation and a little bit of gasket foam for the sealant around the attic access. People are so afraid they're going to be taken by a contractor that they will hire an outside lead man who will just oversee the job and make sure that the contractor they've hired is doing his job. Yes, it will cost you more money to hire an outside person, lead man, white helmet, whatever you want to call them. It's going to cost more money. If it costs you $5,000 to hire a guy to come in and make sure it's done right, you're never going to spend another dollar. So to me, it's wise to put out the extra money to make sure it's done right. My middle name is James. after my father, Jim. Too bad he's not around anymore. It happens. We actually have 3 accesses to the attic and 3 areas that we have to take a look at. I'm really looking to make sure they've insulated properly and they didn't pull anything back to put in the addition that goes up. There's a few bare spots. Obviously, someone's been up and around here and they just didn't level it back out again. Now, you're gonna wanna go up and see that, aren't you?
Yes, how did you read my mind? Can I see the light?
This is impressive if somebody is in detail, wants to follow everything I see. I like that. That gives her a peace of mind too, she sees it. You can see there's a nice level of insulation up there. We're in attic number 3. We're actually in the addition, so this is what I really want to see is how well they've done the attic here. This is totally fine. You got lots up there.
Yeah.
They put plenty. You know, they had to do this properly. This you can see. You can open it up and take a look. But where things were hidden, such as downstairs underneath the addition, they didn't care too much about that. We have got damage everywhere. This is the existing bathroom. It showed signs of a leak. So what I'm doing is I cut a hole and I'm trying to find out where it's leaking from to solve that problem so I can repair this and they're not gonna have a problem in the future with it. It's definitely coming from the tub. The tub is right here, the drain is right here, we can see it all. If the seal is broke, we're gonna get all kinds of water coming in here. By the stain, this was a very minor leak. It is not a big leak. We have no leaks whatsoever, and I do think it's from the kids splashing, going to the floor and coming down. And I can determine that by going upstairs to see how well it's sealed from the tub to the floor, which is my next move. There is no silicone bead across here. Any water hits that floor, goes right in that grout line, right under the tub. And it's probably this one here, because that's the line of the drain. And I'll bet you it goes in and comes out. So this has to be beaded. Not only do we have it packed tight under the beam within the other rafters, we also have it wrapped around on this side. So what that does is stops the cold at this point and leaves it in the attic and stops them from coming into the addition. Ow. Okay, now all we have to do is close it in. Nobody wants to do their job right, get rid of them. Well, we're going to finish off drywalling the dining room, move into the kitchen. We're going to get a coat of plaster on here tonight. We're going to sand, prime, and get out of here.
You gotta come back. Let it down a bit more, Sean.
Well, this is where underneath you can see on the wall that there's stains on the wall that the water was driving not only inside the house, but really soaking the brick on the outside. Anywhere water can get in, it will get in. And the idea is to stop it. And I can't believe this wasn't done. We put flashing up for a reason, and that's to stop the water from coming in. But you also have to seal that flashing. There is no caulking whatsoever around this. I see an open cavity right inside the house. Same as up there. You don't fill it, water gets in and damages everything. Did they forget it? I don't think so. I think by the end of the job here, they were so frustrated they just didn't care anymore. That's what it shows, because they do good work. How do you stop having a bad relationship between the client and the contractor? I mean, you're paying them. So nip it in the butt. You got a problem, you stop the job. Get somebody else in, simple as that. Nobody wants to do their job right, get rid of them. Maybe I spent $10 in caulking to honestly prevent $20,000 worth of damage on the inside. That just doesn't make sense to me. Let's do it right. After 3 coats of plaster, we'll sand it smooth. And if you're real good at it, you barely have to sand at all. job went well. Completed it in 4 days. I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy with the finish with it. I think it looks good, and I'm quite comfortable with the thought that Angela and her husband are going to be a lot warmer. Okay, Angela, we got everything done. The guys are just finishing up the lipstick and mascara, the latex caulking, and filling the nail holes. Make sure you're home. Like, don't give the guy the money, the keys to the house, and say, I don't like, want to be in the mess, I'm leaving and I'll come back and it's done. Because then you're leaving opportunity for things to be hidden, and you will not know it.
I like the flat ceiling. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
I like
Nice
it
and
a lot
flat.
better than the stucco myself. Stucco seems to be years ago and
Yeah.
no longer now. It's important to maintain a good relationship, but a very open and clear relationship. It has to be done properly. I want it done right. I'm willing to pay the money to do it right, within reason. Same as the dining room. The dining room is complete, ceiling's up. And the kitchen, I like that because it tied in very well.
It looks as if I don't even need to paint it. It's like painted already.
Well, if it wasn't for the wall, it would almost
Yeah.
look painted. It's not who charges more or who charges less. It's who's qualified to do it. Then it's worth your money. And let's see if we can feel the difference in the temperature.
You can definitely feel the difference.
I can.
Nice
I've
and warm
noticed
up
the
here.
difference. From 4 days ago, it was actually cool in here.
You can actually stay here and not try to go on the rug because before it's just way too cold. Even with thick socks, you couldn't stay on this ground.
Take pictures galore of everything that is open, everything that is done. Well, it's been a pleasure
Thank you very
working with
much.
you.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh my
Thank you.
goodness. One of the biggest problems in contracting today is the relationship between the client and the contractor really souring. Okay, thank you. Well, keep smiling. Hopefully, from now on, we hire the right guys. You do your damnedest. But if it's not going to work, I recommend you stop the job. Good job, bud. Take care.
Real good job.
Have a good weekend.
See you next time.